I came to America when I was 6 years old from a war-torn Vietnam. The first state I ever lived in was California. California was such an amazing state, and now it's just gone to poo-poo. And I don't understand why. When I got here, Ronald Reagan was California governor. My family finally made it to Los Angeles in 1980. The 80s and 90s were amazing. I remember getting to play with Pac-Man, and as a young boy growing up in California, I had really, really high hopes. California is just not the state that it used to be. It's not the state that I fell in love with, and it might be too late to fix. So in California, everyone is saying we're paying the sunshine tax. And it's so great because the weather is perfect. We're getting freaking hurricanes now. Granted, it wasn't that big of a hurricane, but it's gonna get worse. I've lived in California my whole life, and I still continue to live here. But California just isn't the same as it was 40 years ago. Today, California is known for things like high cost of living, annual wildfire, crazy high taxes, earthquake, and an epidemic of homeless problem that is just beyond any other state. Here's why I think it may be too late to save California. Cost of living in California is ridiculous. Owning your own home is nearly impossible for the average family. According to the US Census, the median income for an average person in California is $34,000 and $78,000 for an entire household. And if you only make $34,000 a year, your estimated take home after taxes is probably about $2,300 a month. The average cost of a one-bedroom, one-bath apartment is anywhere between $1,500 to $1,800. Honestly, how's anybody supposed to live here? This leaves you basically $700 a month for everything else. There is no way that anyone can survive, let alone save enough money for a down payment to buy a house. The median price for a two-bedroom, two-bath condo in San Diego as of July 2023 is $635,000. The median single-family residence is over $900,000, up 3.1% according to Redfin. Because interest rates are over 7% now, that means your monthly mortgage is going to be about $5,500 a month, not counting property taxes, insurance, or anything else you're going to need to just live in that home. That's like 2.5 times the median pay of your average worker in California. The issue is that these prices are going to continue to go higher and higher. And the reason for this is there's a lack of inventory, and there are still people who can afford to buy homes. Like, for example, I service clients that have a combined income between the partners in excess of $300,000 to $400,000 a year. And these people don't have any issues qualifying to buy a home in California. And so as a result, prices are still going up. And for those who can't afford to buy a home, the rental situation isn't much better. According to apartments.com, the average rent in San Diego is nearly $2,300 for a one-bedroom apartment. How much do you have to make in order to afford to buy a median price home in California? Well, if you want to buy a $900,000 house, you're going to need to make over $224,000 as a family. This may seem like a lot of money, but if you look at it, the cost of gas is nearly $6 a gallon. Each time you fill up your tank, that's about $100. Depending on your commute and how many times you fill up, let's say twice a week, this could be over $10,000 a year. Electricity and natural gas in California is higher than any other state. We're told by the state, and I quote, "The state's vast expanse necessitates that the extensive infrastructure that includes generational, maintenance, distribution, wildfire mitigation, and public programs like the California Alternative Energy Rate for Energy, these costs alone account for as much as 77% of a resident's electricity bill. But we still have annual wildfires and problems with rolling blackouts each year. California has the highest taxes in the nation. Our income tax as of 2021 was 13.3%. Our sales tax was 7.5%. And then when you add in local taxes like here in San Diego, that tax now jumps to 8.5%. And if you're a small business, good luck Corporate tax, another 8.84%, making it extremely difficult for poor guys that are just trying to start small businesses. These owners can't even survive. And to make matters worse, the state legislature, when they can't pass a law to raise more taxes, they call it a fee now. And these fees are basically taxes that they tack on without getting voters' approval. And by the time you're finished taking out all of these taxes, you're lucky to be left with 50% of what you actually made. And because of all the wildfires in California, insurance companies are leaving California in masses. I recently helped a client sell their home in San Diego so that they can buy another one in Colorado. The new buyers of their property were struggling to get insurance. Basically, they had to go to like 6 different insurance companies just to get one to say yes. All these other insurance companies basically said their excuse was due to the high risk factors on the home's location, they couldn't insure it. And to make matters worse, the 2 largest insurance companies, State Farm and Allstate, have decided to pull out of California completely, and they are no longer offering homeowners insurance. The state is now offering everyone free college, no matter what your status is. Even if you're an undocumented student, you can now complete a California Dream application, which basically helps you qualify for a California College Promise Grant. This basically will pay for the first 2 years of college for every single person in the state of California, which sounds great, but how much is this going to cost the taxpayers? According to the Heritage Foundation, this plan is misguided and expensive. It's going to cost taxpayers roughly about $46 million every single year. That's right, $46 million, making it more expensive to live in California. Democratic lawmakers in California is now proposing to double the state income taxes. Yes, double our taxes. They want to make income taxes over 18% for the highest tax bracket. If this stupid law passes, it's going to raise income taxes for the highest tax bracket exceeding 60%. I mean, what's the point of working if more than half of your income is going to pay for taxes? Only the exceedingly wealthy with their bodyguards or homeless will be able to manage to live in California. Nobody else can afford to live here. I mean, there is a saying, there isn't a tax California doesn't fall in love with. It's a broken system, and as a Californian, it breaks my heart to see this. California also has one of the worst roadway systems in the nation. We passed a bill in 2017 giving our legislatures $52 billion to fix our roads and highway. And our roads today are no better than they were in 2017. And in 2019, California had their hands out again, asking the taxpayers to give $130 million annually for the new drinking water fund that it was supposed to make clean water more readily available. And they promised that this would increase the supply of drinking water to San Diegans. Yet, we still are dealing with drought and water issues. Then there was the California High-Speed Rail Authority that wanted taxpayers to pay somewhere in the neighborhood of like $88 billion to $128 billion to supposedly complete this super bullet train that goes from Los Angeles to San Francisco. They are way over budget, way over time frame, and they're not finished. Chances are the cost is going to continue to go higher, and there's going to be cost overruns for the future. Currently, I think the biggest problem in California is dealing with the homelessness. This state has the largest percentage of homelessness in the entire nation. It's estimated that 161,000 people are homeless and living in the streets. And an even larger number are home risk, which basically means that they are very, very close to being homeless if something goes wrong. A large part of this homeless problem that people are dealing with has mental issues and drug problems. Businesses in California, like in San Francisco and Santa Monica, in certain areas, are so bad that these businesses are shutting their doors and closing due to the high crime rate and the massive drug use by all these homeless people in those areas. These businesses have to deal with all these robberies and theft, and yet the city leaders are doing nothing about this. Homeless encampments are all over the place, and they're getting worse in California. No city is safe or untouched. There are homeless encampments in Beverly Hills, San Francisco, Oakland, Los Angeles, and San Diego. Crime in California is also another big problem because of the homelessness and the drug use. Recently, my own office got broken into, and my office is in a great area of San Diego, near the Qualcomm headquarters. The robbers came in the middle of the night, broke the door with a crowbar, and then stole everything from me. When I found out and called the police, they didn't even show up the first day. The cops did absolutely nothing, and I mean nothing. They gave me a police report number and told me to file a claim with my insurance company. Then when we found the crooks that had stolen my identity, the cops basically said that they couldn't do anything at the time. All I had to do was just freeze my credit and, deal with it as my problem, trying to figure out how to protect myself. One of the detectives even told me that if they had arrested the criminal, the DA wasn't going to even prosecute them. So what's the point of arresting them? Really? DAs in many cities won't even prosecute criminals, so they know that they can just basically get away with it. Meanwhile, citizens are getting victimized because of it. California is known for having the worst forest fires in the entire nation. I mean, as you can see, there are nearly 5,000 instances in California in 2023 alone. It's gotten so bad that insurance companies like Farmers, State Farm, and Allstate are no longer covering homeowners insurance in many parts of the state. Even areas that aren't considered high risk for forest fires are still not being covered by these insurance companies. These insurance companies just don't want to take the risk anymore because they don't want to lose billions and billions of dollars. Finally, we have traffic congestion. The average commute in Los Angeles is anywhere between 40 to 90 minutes, and they have to do that twice a day. If anyone has driven in the streets of Los Angeles, you know how bad it really is. I mean, I've driven in LA at 10 p.m. at night, and I still run into traffic jams. The worst 5 cities for traffic in California are as follows. San Francisco is number 1, Los Angeles, San Diego, Concord, and Sacramento. It's estimated that the average driver pays about $1,600 annually just for gas sitting in traffic jams. Public transportation isn't any better. It's so bad that most people don't even take it. Over 500,000 people left California in the last 2 years, according to the New York Post. And between the years of 2020 and 2022, there were nearly 700,000 people that have left California. Many large businesses also have left California, as well as high-income earners that have fled to other states that have lower tax rates. And to be fair, you really can't blame them. Well, Scott, you wonderful, helpful, insightful YouTube host, I hear you say, why haven't you moved yet? It's because I've already built a business here in San Diego, and I have aging parents that live locally. Is there a possibility that I could move out of California one day? Yeah, absolutely possible. But in the meantime, since I'm here anyway, if you're one of those lucky ones who own property in California, let me help you. I can get you the most for any of your properties, and I can also introduce you to agents across the country, no matter where you want to move to. I want to thank you again for watching. I'm Scott, and you've been Real Estate Informed.